afternoon. What brings you here today? Okay. Oh yeah, I can see that. Oh, it looks so sore and uncomfortable. Yeah. How long have you been like that for? Oh, it's about 4 weeks. Has it gotten any easier or has it gotten worse? Worse, okay. Let me take a look and try and get to the bottom of this. You poor thing. Right, so 4 weeks ago. Have you had anything like this before? No. Okay. I'm just going to have a look. Some areas really do look inflamed and cut like they've been bleeding. Have you been itching? Alright, so itching. Has that been all over? Okay, so all over itching. Okay, and the patches are where it itches the most. Okay, that makes sense. Have you had any sensitivity? Yeah, I thought you would say that. Okay, so sensitivity. And it's gotten worse. Okay. So by looking, I can see that overall your skin is very, very dry. And your face is quite flaky all over. But then some areas, like here, that are really red and inflamed. You can see on the outside a build-up of skin. Okay, so we've got Can you just put your head back a bit? Oh, okay. That is extremely red, my lovely. It must be very, very sore there. Yeah, where you've got the crease, that looks terrible. That must be really, really uncomfortable. Yeah. To me, what I'm seeing, it does look like eczema. Yeah. No, it's not psoriasis, my lovely. It's not the same. Okay. So I'm just going to observe, okay. So your forehead is quite dry, a bit patchy with the flaking, and I can see some fine lines, which I'm assuming is due to the dryness and dehydration. Yeah. Have even got some dryness in your brows. Okay. Can you just show me your ear, my love? Bit on there too. What about the other side? Yeah, could you just scoot your hair just out the way so I can just see your hairline? Yeah, it's a little bit there too. How's your scalp? Not too bad. Okay. I will check that for you, but I will be having a feel around myself, my lovely, okay? Alright. Can I just see here? Okay, a bit red, but nothing too much. Okay. What about the rest of your body? Alright, but your elbows. Okay, let me have a look. Ah, yes. Let me have a look at that one. So that is eczema in there, my lovely. Alright, okay. What about behind your knees? They're okay. Alright. It can start at any time, my lovely, alright? Yeah, it doesn't just, have to have it from when you're younger and through. It's literally can start whenever. Can you recall anything at all happening? Any life changes or anything like that? Not that you can think of. I mean, it can just happen, you've got things like pollution and you've got pollen, you've got the heat, you've got humidity, sweating and different things like that all can contribute. Yeah, and you've got it in your classic place of, here and here, and your elbows are a little bit dry as well. Okay, and then here is very classic place as well. Okay, and unfortunately, a lot of people do get it, on their face, and your hands I can see are a little bit dry as well. All right, I will have a good feel around everywhere, but I just want to, keep looking first. So we've got dry hands, elbows, eczema, no, okay. Eczema can itch a lot, and we can get very sensitive, and no matter what you put on your skin can irritate it and make it worse. All right, yeah, your skin is very, very active at the moment, and what I'm seeing is classic eczema, and this is quite an extreme case, my lovely. Yeah, and because it's been left and the weather is warming up more, pollen's actually very high at the moment and things like that. The weather's been quite windy and it's been quite warm and then it's been quite cool. It's typical kind of conditions for eczema to flare. All right, my love. Okay. No, it's nothing you've done wrong at all, my love. All right, it's just one of those things, unfortunately, so please don't beat yourself up about it. And you could have come sooner, yeah, but again, you'd still be in the situation. However, we could have prevented it, but it's only been 4 weeks, my love. That's not a long time, really. Yeah, so don't feel like you should have come like day one. You need to assess and see what happens, and you've clearly done the right thing when it started to get a lot worse, so don't worry yourself. Okay, you're here now and we can get it sorted. So, okay, Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions if that's okay. So, you said you've had itching. What's the severity? And 10 being the worst. Okay, so when it gets going, it's excessive. All right. Any burning or stinging? Okay. In any areas where it stings or burns the most? Okay. Does your skin feel tight? Okay. Now, do you have hay fever? You do. See, interesting. So, sometimes if we do have hay fever, we are quite prone to eczema and vice versa. All right. So it's not that strange after all. You've just been lucky enough not to experience it before. You may have even had it as a young child. You just don't remember. All right. Yeah, it's very common to have anyway, to be honest with you, and you've got things like things we wash our clothes with, loads of different allergies and things can irritate, and some things you're just not even aware of. Yeah, I mean, have you always had hay fever? Okay, quite mild, but this year's quite bad. Interesting. And when did you notice you started getting irritated? Back in Feb? Okay. Yeah. It's all linking up together here. All right. Wonderful. So, how is your stress? Are you, have you been stressed recently or? Right. Okay, so you're getting worked up about the issue, which is probably making it worse, my love. Okay. But other than that, are you okay? Good. Another thing, if you've got, your clothing and that could irritate and make things worse. What do you like at night? Right, okay, so you're more itchy. Okay, so all over itching your body, okay. Could be, if we're a bit stressed and things, we could get irritated, and at night our nervous system can cause us to have lots of itching. Yeah, again, that's quite common with everything that you've mentioned. Okay, right. So, I think I'm happy with everything that I've asked, and obviously initial observation. So, what I'm going to do now is have a closer look. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is get one of my lights. Now, it will be very bright, so you may wish to close your eyes. Okay? Okay. Yeah. That looks incredibly sore, my love. Tilt your head. Okay. Just going to have a look at your upper chest. Okay, if I can have a look at your hands. Yeah, they are actually a lot drier than I thought they were, my love. Do you wash your hands a lot? Yeah, that's not helping. You could get dermatitis from that. I mean, obviously, we need to be hygienic and wash our hands, but if it gets excessive, you know. Okay, you've been out gardening. Okay, have you been wearing... Okay, so different types of gloves. And the sweating is going to have made it worse, and then washing your hands. Yeah, okay, let me have a look at your elbows. Turn them over. Okay, and this one. And turn over. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. So you've been gardening, wearing gloves, and washing a lot. Okay. Have you been like sunbathing or on sunbeds? Okay, good. Do you wear any SPF? And what about when you were gardening? No. Okay. I can see because your arms do look a little bit like you've caught the sun. Okay, we do need our sun. You know, it's good for us, you know, the vitamin D, you know, it's actually really good. But when our skin's a little bit on the sensitive side or dry and flaky, you know, and then too much of the sun will be damaging our skin, and, you know, that's not good. So we do need to try and make sure we are wearing something to protect ourselves, okay? All right. Okay. So I'm just going to get my magnifying glass. Okay. First of all, if I can have a look at your hands. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's one of the places, you know, we can experience it. Have you had some kind of blister here? Yeah, that's healing all right, though. Okay, may I have a look at your elbow? Turn that for me. Okay, and other one. Turn that. Okay, and just. And pop your head back a bit. Yeah, it's really inflamed under there. Okay, so look at your face. Yeah, it's really quite bad, my love. Okay. I can see a lot of cracking. Your texture is pretty uneven throughout. Alright. And there's some areas I can see which are starting to heal slightly, which is a good thing. Alright. Okay. What I'm going to do is just do some tracing of areas, okay? I'm just going to set the camera. Okay. Perfect. So if you just keep nice and still for me. going to trace the large patches first. Okay, now the smaller patches. Okay. These are the dehydration lines under your eyes. They've got this section which is quite red. This section. And that section. And this one like that. Okay. Brows. Alright. A bit of line there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take some closer pictures now, so if you can keep nice and still for me. Carefully turn your head that way. And carefully that way. And head back for me. And back to normal. Good. Right, I'm now going to touch your face gently, but I will be putting some gloves on, okay? I just want to feel how it feels, okay? But I don't want to do a full assessment without my gloves. Yeah. Very dry. Let me just gently. Okay. Okay, so. Because you do have a lot of broken skin, I will be having to wear my gloves. Alright. Hopefully you'll be okay with them. If you do start to feel really irritated, please let me know and I will remove them. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. dehydration on your forehead is excessive, as expected. Alright, so these lines here are dehydration lines, but the problem is if we don't get on top of everything, they will eventually become deep set lines. Alright. Just gently pinching the skin and seeing how it looks. Okay, move your hair. Yeah. So it's around the hairline of your forehead, okay? Just gently scratch. Yeah, that's flaking off. Okay. Move your hair so I can see on the top flaking. Okay, let's look behind. On the side. Okay, that's around it. Okay, so your hairline here is quite flaky, and on the top of your ears, and then this bit on your scalp. Alright, and a little bit behind as well. Alright, I will check your scalp in a moment, but that's just what I can see there at the moment. Alright, I will continue with your face now. Let's look at these brows. Have I got... Okay, let's brush. Okay. I can feel the swelling. Is that sore? I mean, a lot. Okay. Uncomfortable. I'm going to gently squeeze. Yeah, I can see all that crack. What about this side? Okay. Okay. Under your eyes, very dehydrated. Just have a feel of the chin. Okay, and underneath your neck. Yeah, here is terrible, my love. I can see it looks a bit greasy as well, which is a bit like sweat. I mean, it is quite warm in here as well, which isn't helping. Check your chest. Definitely a bit of sunburn here. It's not excessive, but it's probably calmed down a bit now. A bit dry as well, and definitely dehydrated. Okay. Okay, let me have a look at your elbow. Again, very inflamed. Let's turn that round. Have a look at your hand now. Yeah, that is a lot. It's all red here and here and here, and that's coming up a little bit, and obviously the whole of the hand is scaly and rough. Okay, that side. It's sore. Let's turn that over. Okay, elbows, same. Let's move down to your hands. Very similar to the other side. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a clear pattern that things are very equal. Alright, so your hands and your elbows are very similar side to side. Okay, overall your face is pretty much the same. Alright, apart from the patches that are larger. And under your neck it's obviously quite severe. You can see it's a big patch around like this, and it's quite swollen and obviously red, and it's been bleeding in a couple of places. Yeah, it's not very good, my love. I'm just going to get one of these. I'm going to press it here. Yeah, there's definitely no excess oil at all on your face, which I knew that, but I wanted to check. Okay, I'm going to have a look in your hair. Okay. Look down here. Does your scalp ever itch? Okay, well that's a good sign. Do you ever see any like flaking or anything? Okay, that's good. Okay. That looks really good, my love. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with your scalp, which is good. Usually, to be honest with you, if things are in your scalp, it would more than likely be psoriasis, but your scalp is perfectly fine. Okay, now I want you to tell me if this feels the same as that. Okay, so it feels even. Okay, good. What about this? Can they feel all that? Does it feel the same? Okay, good. How about this? Okay, fab. Okay, what about that? All feels the same. Okay, what about this? Good. So you've got no sensitivity issues, as in when I touch. Now, when I was touching your face earlier, is there any areas that you would say are more painful or sensitive? Yeah. Okay, I thought you would say that. That's fine. Just wanted to check. Okay. And your strongest itch? Yeah, thought you'd say that. Okay, perfect. Okay, lovely. Yeah, okay. Right, you definitely do have eczema. You're clearly in a flare at the moment and it is quite bad. Alright, we do need to get it under control and we need to repair your barrier because that is clearly in need of that. Okay, so I want you to avoid any harsh additives. Okay, and I don't want you to over exfoliate. You do need to be exfoliating still once a week to try and remove as much as dead skin as possible, but you need to be using a light kind of paste moisturiser or something like that. Alright, Daily Microfoliant by Dermatologist is a wonderful one to use, or one that's just got light beads and it will be great. Something minimal, and that's just once a week, okay? Get rid of all your other skincare, put it to one side. We don't want to use that at the moment. Alright, and I want you to be using warm water or cool water to wash your face. Alright, it's really going to help. At times, if you're really itchy or you're really sore, then cold compress will be really good for you. You know, you could use a flannel that's been nice and cool, or maybe some ice globes, or like cooling pads and things, but don't put anything that's freezing on you because that will really sting and could potentially burn, and we don't want to do that. So nice and cool products, not freezing. All right, you know, if you've got little ice globes or something, you can rub it over your skin. That'll be really nice, but make sure it is clean, and after you've done that, make sure you do wash it. Yeah, we don't want to put bacteria on our skin because then we can get infections and everything like that. All right, so no, you don't want to be using anything like that at all. So pop all your serums and everything up to one side. All right, we're going back to basics. Okay, but you do need to be using something because then you're not going to repair your barrier. So we're going to have to be using a strict routine. All right, my lovely. So please keep as hydrated as possible. That is essential. That you do that. I would like you to focus on maybe some relaxation, de-stress. You know, just have some time for you and have warm showers or baths, okay? Try not to spend too long in there because obviously you can dry out, but when you do come out, don't be drying with a rough towel. You know, pat dry, air dry, but within 3 minutes I need you to apply a cream. All right, I'll tell you about that in a second. Don't leave it any longer than that. Get it on within 3 minutes of being dry and let that lock in all the moisture. All right. Wonderful. So, I'm going to be giving you a steroid, and it's going to be in an ointment. All right. Which we need to apply daily. All the instructions will be on the items, okay, and I will be writing all this up and send it in an email to you. So everything I found, discussed, and recommendations, so you don't have to remember it off by heart. All right. Then I'm going to give you some Piriton for your itchiness and, you know, any allergies that will help with like hay fever and things like that. It may make you drowsy. If it does, please take it at night. All right. Okay, so short, warm baths or showers, like I said, don't be in there too long. All right. Apply the moisturiser within 3 minutes, as I said. Avoid any stress and irritants. We don't want to be doing that. Cold compress, as I said, when we need it. Avoid scratching. I know it's easier said than done, but avoid doing that, okay? Use things that are fragrance free. And make sure we get the humidity out the air. So we want to be getting as much fresh air as possible. I know it's quite difficult at the moment as well with the hay fever, which is it's not obviously going to be helpful, but get a humidifier or something like that. You want to get the humidity out to the air, open the windows a little bit, get the fresh air flowing. It's that humidity that's going to be making the eczema worse, so we need to remove that. All right. Okay, you can pop on some Vaseline or some ointment or something like that to help lock in the moisture a bit more, and obviously it protects your skin barrier, so that'll be good. Maybe if you're in the garden or something, you want to put a thin layer of Vaseline on, or CeraVe advanced repair ointment will be good for you, something like that, and that will help lock in the moisture and obviously protect the barrier. All right, my lovely. Okay. Okay, then I want to give you a special moisturiser for all of your body. Now you can wash with it and you can also use it as a moisturiser. All the instructions will be on the items that I'm giving you, so if you are unsure it will explain what you need to do. Alright, that is essential to apply on everywhere you've got your eczema. Alright, then I would like to look at the Aveeno for you. Okay, I want you to get the wash, the cleanser and the day and night moisturiser. Okay, we can also get some like itch relief and other different ones that they do. I will send you that over in a recommendation. They're not very expensive, but they're all oat based. They are fantastic for sensitivity, repairing your skin barrier, hydration and eczema. Alright, and it will work wonders on you. So if you want to stick to a proper skincare routine on your face, then use that. Okay, they're brilliant. I'm going to issue you as well some vitamin D3 that will be really good. It's going to be quite a higher dose and that's going to be good to help with your eczema. Okay. So on prescription, I'll be giving you the steroid ointment, the special wash and moisturiser, the Piriton and the vitamin D3. Okay, so they will be going to your local pharmacy. Alright, collect them ASAP. Then the things that I would like you to get is the Aveeno range for your face. Okay, and some Vaseline. Alright, so that is all my recommendations for you on getting this under control. So I want you to do all this for 4 weeks, then I would like you to come back to me. Alright, so can I book you an appointment? Let's have a look. Seventh, maybe? Think like that. Yeah, we can do the same time. Okay, wonderful. There we go. You should get a text now to confirm that. Great. So give me a day or so to get this report written up, okay, and I will email it over to you so you've got everything I found and all the recommendations and your treatment, how to do it, etc. Okay, and then get your medication, start all that. I'll see you in 4 weeks and we'll go from there. Hopefully this will nip it in the bud and that'll be it. And then going forward we will have to kind of, you know, maintain things as best as we can. It could just be one-off flare, or, you know, it could be a little bit more of an ongoing thing, but hopefully it will just be a one-off with all the crazy weather that we've been having and humidity and things like that. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you and I'm sorry in these circumstances, but we're on the right track now and we'll get you sorted. You're very welcome, my lovely. Now you take it easy, okay? Any questions? All right, if you do think of anything, please give me a call. You take care now. Bye-bye.